Today I'm going to review the Bucket Head Wet Dry Vac by the Home Depot. This is a bucket head.
And this is a 5-gallon bucket head. Let's do this. Yeah.
So you're going to need to buy a separate Homer 5-gallon bucket. I've got a dozen of these things. And the reason I bought this is to clean up things that I don't want to clean up with my regular shop vacs. So for example, really stale smelling dirt from the basement, or say that cat litter stuff. If you get a small oil spill or something and you put some of that cat litter stuff on it, if you suck that up with your shop vac, you will never get the smell out. It gets absorbed into the plastics, and even if you throw away the bag or the filter, doesn't matter. So I'm going to try this and see how it works. All right, so I'm going to open it up, see what we got. This will be the quickest unboxing ever because I hate unboxing videos. I feel like we're not 8 years old. We don't need to see this in action. So I'm going to speed this up. Power head, filter, and a short hose. Right on. All right, actually a couple things before I plug it in, because I just said I might use this to clean up some of that cat litter stuff. So you should not do that. In the warnings specifically, sparks inside the motor can ignite flammable vapors or dust to reduce the risk of fire or explosion. Do not use near flammable or combustible liquids, gases, or dust such as gasoline or other fuels, lighter fluid, cleaners, oil-based paints, natural gas, coal dust, magnesium dust, grain dust, aluminum dust, or gunpowder. Yeah, who would do that? Do not use on a bucket that contains residuals of such vapors or dust. So, and also you don't want to ever vacuum up anything that's burning, like cigarettes or ashes from the fireplace or matches, unless you're positive that they're completely extinguished. It says, do not vacuum drywall dust, cold fireplace ash, or other fine dust which may pass through the bag filter and be exhausted back into the air. So my thought on that is, I'm going to try this, and I'm doing this at my own risk, obviously, is this is a Filtrete 3M dust bag which picks up fine dust and allergens. I'm going to see just how well the vacuum operates if I put this over the top, even though you're not supposed to be sucking up fine dust with this thing. Got a bungee cord. I'm just putting it through the bottom hole. It would be nice if they showed you which end is suck and which is blow. Pull it around, go under the cord. Better to turn off the vacuum if you're trying to do this, obviously. And I'm just gonna connect it to this hole here. There we go. Nice, let's go. Before you use this, you want to make sure, really important, that this rubber band here is properly holding down the filter all the way around. Because if not, it's going to be a mess. All right, so there's the bucket head with the vacuum bag attached. And this is the type of situation where I don't like to use my shop vac, because this is a real old house. That's some stinky dirt. And I used a rotary hammer, a Bosch Bulldog rotary hammer, which I'll put a review for up in the right-hand corner, to chisel down 2 inches so I can put in new concrete. And you never know what you're going to find down there. So just in case there is something flammable, I do have a fire extinguisher on hand. We'll capture it as I blow up. All right. So there's just some dust in the areas, in the corners over here, that I want to clean up. And we'll use the bucket head to do that. right, not bad. There's brick dust down there. There's silica dust from the concrete. There's Portland, and there was some sand. So that's why I wanted to use the vacuum bag. And I'll show you in a minute how much dirt that collected and how much actually went into the filter. But it has a reasonable amount of suctions. I'm now going to show you what I picked up and how much made it through to this vacuum bag I attached. Now, brick dust is pretty fine, so yeah, I'm not surprised to see that there's see red in there. There's some brick dust and some of the really fine dust particles. And on the inside, there's definitely brick dust on the filter. And then in the bucket, you can see the sand and rocks and concrete. So, this is pretty good. Pretty good for, it was a $4 bucket and like a $23 head, so maybe 27 bucks total. It's a good disposable unit when you don't want to use your more expensive shop vacs for sucking up really disgusting debris. I actually have two other shop vacs, one a small rigid 4.5 gallon and then a big Craftsman, which I use for removing dust and debris from my saws. And then of course, using this bag, this vacuum bag probably costs more than the whole thing together. It belongs to like a Miele, I don't know how to pronounce it, German vacuum cleaner, and they work really well, for catching excess dust and debris that isn't picked up by the filter in this. Now, I'm not planning to use the bucket head to suck up water. Hello, kitty. But I figure I'll show you how it works either way. You have to remove the filter, which I've already done. And there's a float inside here that lifts as you suck up water. And when it reaches the top, the suction will stop. The motor won't stop, but the suction will stop. So let's give it a shot. And this is a 2-gallon bucket. But that's about 1 gallon of water. Again, I don't plan on using it for this because to me the nozzle's too small. I have larger shop vacs that can handle this better. So let's give it a go. It's not bad at all. Worked pretty well. One thing I also wanted to point out is the bucket with the hose and stuff like that can sometimes, until the bucket's filled, the bucket head can be kind of unbalanced when carrying it by the handle. Just wanted to point that out as well. Now let me show you, all of the water is in the shop vac. And I've also cleaned out my hose from all the dust and debris I showed you earlier. I will say I was very impressed with the suction when using the unit with water. In fact, I was more impressed picking up water than I was when the unit was picking up the cat litter and dust and debris. So I will say it's a pretty good unit, and I'm not a fan of disposable tools, but it's a great alternative to using my more expensive shop vacs to pick up things that I wouldn't want to pick up with those units. So I give this thing a thumbs up. And if this video has been helpful, please do me a favor and like it. And most importantly, subscribe, because that always helps me out. And as always, thank you so much for watching. It would be nice if they showed you which end is suck and which is blow.